Ajit, a BJP minister named L K Advani has made a rather curious set of remarks recently. Can you shed some light on what he means and what he actually said?
He's not a BJP minister, Cal. He's actually a former minister. He was a minister in the previous government. In fact, he was virtually the deputy prime minister. He was the home minister, whatever. L K Advani is a senior BJP leader who was born before India was partitioned in 1947.
Okay.
And he's a Sindhi, belongs to the Sindhi community, people who lived in the state of Sindh.
Yeah.
And Sindh is now a part of Pakistan. Advani was at some time living in Karachi. Now, yesterday he made a very curious statement which says that Sindh and Karachi should be a part of India, which means that partition should never have taken place. Now, this is very strange because partition did take place in 1947. Sindh went to Pakistan. Karachi is a very important port town out there, and it's making headlines recently, of late. And the Pakistanis will not look upon this statement very favorably. I'm sure it's bound to upset a lot of apple carts in the Pakistan government, and they are not going to be very happy about the statement, and there's bound to be a reaction from the Pakistan media once this gets around. Fortunately for Pakistan, I think the Indian media has downplayed this incident so far.
Okay.
But you know what the Indian media is like. They like to recycle things for TRP, so I'm sure some channel's going to pick it up and play it up. Sindh, if I tell you the history of India, Sindh has played a major role with the British Empire. Sindh has played a major role with the coming of the Muslims to India as well.
Mm-hmm.
The first Muslim invader who actually settled down in India was Muhammad bin Qasim.
Okay.
And he conquered Sindh. He came with, I think, 7 or 30,000 troops to Sindh, and he fought a very large army under Raja Tahir of Sindh. And he conquered Sindh. When the British took over Sindh, the British army commander sent just one notice to the Queen. He said, "I have Sindh."
Okay. Play on words. Now, was he advocating that it should be returned to India and the lines redrawn, or was he advocating that India go try to take it, which it can't do and would never even consider?
I think India almost took Karachi in 1971. 1971, when we had the Bangladesh war, the war to liberate Bangladesh under the Indira Gandhi government, the Indian army overran East Pakistan, as it was then known, and made Bangladesh a free country within 14 days. And apart from that, in the western sector, the Indian army made considerable territorial gains, which were actually surrendered back to Pakistan. Maybe Advani is trying to refer to the fact that we were within walking distance of Karachi and we should have taken it and not given it back the way the Israelis have done.
Yes.
Okay. So the thing is that you lost men, you lost thousands of men in that war, you lost officers in that war, and their sacrifices went in vain. So basically, maybe Advani is trying to raise that issue, because he knows very well that there's no way India can take back Karachi or Sindh today from Pakistan unless Pakistan itself decides on a merger with India, the way the East and West Germany have re-merged.
Right.
The way the two Vietnams merged. So unless Pakistan itself decides that, okay, we've had enough of this bullshit, we don't want to be two different countries, let's join hands and become one strong super regional power. Because if Pakistan and India actually come together, they will have wield more power than any other country in this region except China, and putting their two resources together, and setting aside the money that we waste on fighting each other and terrorism and militancy in certain states, and trying to prepare for battle with each other by, buying arms that actually don't make any sense in the market today, which is actually our obsolete technology. If we set aside that money to jointly develop India and Pakistan, I'm sure that would be much better. So maybe Advani in his old age is being nostalgic. He's saying it was such a waste in 71 that we gave back all the territory. Maybe he's trying to say that maybe it's time for India and Pakistan to bury the hatchet and come together and think in terms of a confederacy or a commonwealth or whatever, so that one day the two nations can be one and you can bury the past.
Well, you're absolutely right that if Pakistan, excuse me, and India were to unite and find common ground and cause, they would be the superpower in this immediate area. China would only be their rival. They would even give Russia fits in that sense.
Cal, the thing is, India at one time, Akhand Bharat, as Lohiya talked about it, was, composite India or the greater India, comprised everything from Afghanistan to Burma.
Yes, yes.
Right down to Burma.
Yes.
That was supposed to be Akhand Bharat, Anyhow, I'm not saying that we should walk into Burma or we should walk into Afghanistan, but the fact is that Afghanistan, Pakistan, India were one commonwealth. It would be very hard for any other power to play a role in this region.
Not only that, it would pretty much eliminate the radical Muslim, Islamist, and Islamo-fascist movements because the rest of this huge country wouldn't tolerate it.
Exactly.
So,
and neither will the people in Pakistan tolerate it because they are having problems with the Taliban today.
Yes, of course.
So there's a common agenda here. There's a common agenda in Pakistan, there's a common agenda in Afghanistan, and there's a common agenda in India. And you'll be surprised to know, Cal, that for the last 20 to 30 years, there are groups in both countries, Pakistan as well as India, who have been working on this issue that Pakistan and India should come up with as a commonwealth, as a confederacy, and they should shed their differences and reunite one day.
I understand. Okay, thank you, Ajit, for explaining this, and let's see how this unfolds.